Hi, we are Team E from Group 1, formed by Leonardo Adalberto Cisneros, Juan Jesús Hernández, Diana Laura Rodríguez, Pedro Jair Torres, and Clarissa Cantú. And we're going to be talking about a specific activity that takes place in the Mondelez International Company.
Hello, my name is Leonard and I'm going to talk about the introduction project. Starting with the history of the company, Mondelez is a young company founded on October 1st. The company was built on the basis of the rail processing companies, which have existed for more than 100 years. In 1990, Kraft merged with Jacob Suchard, resulting in a new company now named Kraft Foods International, where many brands that nowadays are recognized are brands such as Suchard, Milka, Oreo, Royal, Philadelphia, Tang, Clyde, Ritz, Club Social, and Lacta were created. Currently, Mondelez is going through its first years of life, creating a successful history built by Kraft Foods, positioning itself as one of the leaders of food products for mass consumption, characterized by their quality and safety. Regarding the job description of the work to be present. The reprocessing or milled area is where the cookies that are broken or fell from the conveyor belt can be ground to be sent to the mixing area. In the picture, we're able to view artesas, steel containers where the cookies is collected. When the golden cookie is ground, it's sent in 12-kilogram bags for which three operators are needed. Operator 1 operates the container turner. Operator 2 helps seal the bags. Operator 3 arranges the bags on a pallet. We are in charge of studying operators' activities where we are able to find opportunity areas due to the fact that cumulative trauma disorder can be caused. And the product we focus on the golden Oreo cookie. It's a popular cookie around the world. In the mill area, the golden cookie is ground and sent in 12-kilogram bags of ground biscuits to the mixing area.
As the first part of the methodology, we can observe the formulas used to analyze the activity. In this case, the recommended weight limit formula and the elevation index formula, both developed by NIOSH, were used. The ergonomic evaluation method selected was OWAS, as it is one of the simplest and quickest methods to use. We think it is the method that is best suited for the type of activity being analyzed, where it was necessary to know if the operator's posture was correct. In addition, it takes into account the weight involved in the task. In the video, we can see that the activity performed by the operator is not being carried out in the best way. So the evaluation was made based on this in order to make sure that what we observed was true and then establish possible improvements to be made.
As we can see in this case, the result of applying the recommended weight limit gives us a result greater than 1, which means that it is a dangerous job both in the weight handled and in the amount of work done in the defined period of time. For this reason, a change in these factors or improvement in the work in general is required. Thanks to the ergonomic evaluation, we were able to identify that the risk category is 2, which means that the posture that the operator has during the video has a possibility of causing damage to the musculoskeletal system, so corrective actions need to be created for the process in the near future. With the results of the OVACO working posture assessment system, we were able to verify that the activity needs corrections to be able to prevent different types of CTD from being created due to poor back postures and repetitive movements while doing the activity. The recommended weight limit also tells us that the activity can be dangerous and needs changes. This is why we decided to create some possible solutions for this activity.
The company has a hand operator job so it can get different injuries. The palletizing robot has the following benefits: increased productivity and production, decrease in manpower, reduction of damaged goods.
My name is Juan Jesus Hernandez Meraz. I am going to talk about two propels that are the following. The second proposal is an electric powered truck, and the electric powered truck was selected with the following specification. The model is H3936, size is for length 42 plus 13 minus 27. Load capacity is 2,200 pounds. Height is minimal to 2 inch, maximal 5 feet 2 inch, and unit price is 206.844. The benefits to purchase an electric pallet trucks are decreased the operation cycle fatigue or activity, safe transportation time, decreased the TR risks, a good workload. After implement the change, implement in the layout with the following. First, when the product leaves the metal detector, the paint sinks. Robots will use its conveyor belt to lift the product in the scaffold. Then the operator will use the electric-powered trucks to transport the product to the warehouse department.
In this graph, we compare the costs of the operator with those of the improvements, taking into account the following factors. The cost of both improvements give a total of 341,323, while in the operator's cost we take into account his salary of 10,000 for 12 months plus his DTC injury, which will generate a cost of 300,000, giving a total of 420,000.
The risks for an operator are several. Number one is low back pain caused by a torn muscle or ligament. Number two is repetitive movement of two areas, knees and hands. Number three is injuries due to product overload. The worker may suffer the following disease by continuing his current work rhythm. Herniated disc. Being a physical demanding job, they have an increased risk of back problems. Repetitive movements that involve lifting or pushing objects increase the risk of suffering a herniated disc, which is a degenerative lesion of a low back pain or sciatica in which the displacement nucleus rupture causing distension or rupture of the peripheral envelope of the invertebral disc, reaching the sciatic nerve or the spinal cord. Lordosis. A bad posture is the risk to appear. The consequences are pain in the back and legs and intestinal and bladder problems. Lumbago is the pain felt in the lumbar region. Also have stiffness in the back and decreased movement of the lumbar region and difficult standing up straight. Radial tunnel syndrome. The long path of the radial nerve through the entire upper limb gives us an idea of the diversity of places where it can become trapped or compressed. Also stands out as a pathology related to repetitive movements of the hand and forearm. Cervical tension syndrome. It corresponds to a painful clinical picture produced by an uncomfortable and persistent muscle contracture in the posterior cervical region, which affects a muscle or a muscle group. The contraction compresses the small vessels that supplies blood to the muscle, thus hindering blood supplies and further favoring the contraction and preventing its recovering. Through observation of the development of an activity in the company, it is necessary to study the conditions in which a worker develops because it helps to know how to work more efficiently and without injuries in the environment. Ergonomics allows us to adapt the work to the worker, knowing different methods to evaluate the potentially risky activities to which the operators of the organization are exposed. A series of proposals were presented to adapt the work and thus benefiting the productivity and reduce the negative impacts on health. Employers are responsible for providing their workers with a safe work area. The severity of a disease goes beyond the economic risk. The implementation of economic process reduces the possibility of development them, especially in high-risk industry such as food processing.